Hi, I wanted to make a quick video for like a breakdown slash some technical cues and maybe some teaching tips from my last yoga flow I posted a few days ago on my YouTube channel and Instagram. So it's an intermediate flow, I think, like intermediate level. So let me first break it down for you guys. So we started with the big bench. So feet were roughly hip width apart. Always long spine, you know the drill, right? Arms go up, exhale, big bench. Arms fall to the back like big wings. From here we went on the toes. Forward fold, we stay on the toes for this one. From here I'm going to jump back to tricep push-up. Straight down to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving to the back for a little space. From here I'm going to jump forward, so end up in an L sit. So from down dog position. I want to jump forward, and ideally you want to hold the position for maybe like 1 or 2 counts depending on your strength, but even if it's only for a millisecond, that's fine. So try to hold the L sit for as long as you can, sweep legs forward, and then go down. Okay, I kind of messed up that one. Keeping legs up, exhale, forward fold all the way down, legs back up, open down, to straddle pose, like stretch to the side, exhale to the side. Legs going up. Then we went in, all the way down, bend the knees. So bicep push-up, back extension, reset, jump the legs back in, straight back to a big bench, and then we do it all again. So this is basically the flow. So of course, the more you do it, the faster you go, and the more flow you get. So that was the whole flow. So I'm not really warm right now, so I kind of messed up the L-sit. But this was the flow, so I'm gonna break it down. So basically, what I usually do in the class is I start with, of course, warm up. And after the warm up, we'll basically have separate blocks, and eventually those blocks are gonna put together in like one big sequence. So for example, after the warm up, we start with the first block with only like the big bench, forward fold, and with first on the flat feet, forward fold. And just stepping in down dog, rolling over high plank position to tricep, holding it here to warm up the tricep, shoulders, chest, cobra, exhale down dog. Do this a few times, walking hands towards your feet, rolling up. I'm doing it now a little bit faster, but of course we do it a little bit slower. During the workout I always start slow motion and then I go medium tempo depending on which time of yoga I teach. Of course then the tempo like differs. Anyways, but for now just do it faster for like demonstration purposes. Anyway, so that we just do a few times, and after they were warm, I introduced like the same thing on the toes, like forward fold on the toes, and then I introduced like the jump back here. So a important cue here, a lot of students what I see is that when they jump they go too early in the cobra. So you see this happening when they don't have to, like usually it happens when they don't have the strength in the triceps yet. This happens, like don't do this, okay? Like I will do it on purpose, like don't do this. When they go down, and like don't do that, right? That's not good for the back. No good for the back, no good for anything. If you're jumping down, you wanna make sure your back, legs are like you're parallel with the floor, like one straight line. Again, like I maybe did it now a little bit over the top, but just to show for like how to show if you go down from here, you want to make sure if I shoot the legs back and you go down, it's one straight line, right? And then you go to the cobra. So basically you want to hold this position for maybe a few breaths before you go to the cobra. Even if I go faster, I will hold for like maybe a second or like 1 or 2 seconds at least. So then we were in cobra. And from here, tap the toes under to the down dog, and this is probably the hardest part for the average student, for the cobra to the L-sit. Down dog to L-sit. So usually I will first prepare them so again, I will isolate first in the next block with starting with the legs straight, up, do stretches here, like do isolation work here, isolation drills, out, maybe like hold it here, like do like poses like this to like warm up for the L-sit, and of course practice the isolated L-sit, like hold it for a few counts, then keep that period for folding longer, etc. So then building that block up, and then eventually I will transition and introduce like the full transition from down dog to like the L sit. So so after I did the isolation thing, we went from here, and then we can do the whole leg swing. So important here is that you kind of using momentum, but and you want to hold it again, like I said, like as long as you can. So let's see if I can do it now. Not really one, so I'm not sure how long I can hold it, but let's see. Okay, that was not too bad. And then you hold it, one hold here, then wait for forward fold, legs up and out, then wait for the second block. So again, before I go moving on to the next part of the sequence, I first have an isolated block where I just do the straddle stretches. You go to the side a few times, both sides, you go forward, twist, etc. Do some leg raises, some holding, and then we're moving on to the straddle stretch block part. And then the last part, we're gonna lay down, squat, and then the bicep push up. And again, I isolate this part by just starting with maybe some stretch. I'll let them on all fours, having the fingers pointing towards the knees, like this, and having just stretch, keep the wrist ready. Then starting the bicep push up maybe first on the knees. If your students are maybe a little bit more beginner, you might want to do it on the knees first, or you might want to do negatives first. Or if they're already familiar with this motion, you can just go straight to the bicep push up, like the back extension. And when I jump up here, also here, same thing as in the tricep push up, guys. You don't want to. It's not a cobra, okay? So you don't want to do this. Okay, don't do this when you come up. You want to make sure you tap the toes under. Each arm, the back goes up. You want to go like one straight line. And when I jump the legs in, it's again one straight line. I'm kind of making an like perpendicular with the floor, basically. I go up straight to big bend, and then I start the whole sequence again. Yeah, so basically I want to make it like one big flow. Like that's the idea of yoga, right? I want to make it like one big motion. Like make it look graceful, make it look beautiful, as if you're moving through water. So also one cue I always give them is to imagine basically in transitions you make the moves a little bit faster, and in the end of the poses you slow down. So what I mean by that is to show you guys quickly. Excuse me. So when you start, you go fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, etc. And boom, and three, and up. You see the point, right? So it's kind of changing the speed, the accelerate, decelerate. Hope that makes sense, guys. But you'll feel the difference when you do it like the whole motion. So this was kind of the breakdown of the whole sequence in some isolation drills we did in between. I also usually I do like a similar format in my classes, like warm up, and then we do different blocks, and we got the sequence. Then it's the peak of my class. So then we're gonna basically do the same sequence a few more times, because usually when they have the moves and they don't have to think about, they know the moves, then you can flow, right? Then you can get into the pose, you can relax, you can meditate, you can get in the zone, find enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. And then it's also gonna feel better and good in your body. And usually I finish, depending on the yoga format class. It a little bit depends what kind of yoga I teach. Whether it's going to be like I teach some more strength or core afterwards, or some more poses, or I teach a bit longer for the relaxation. Yeah, that also depends a little bit on the participants. Or anyways, guys, hope this was helpful. If you want any more of these teaching tips, formats, or how to build yoga sequences or anything, let me know. Or if you want more workout videos to practice for those L-sits and those moves, also let me know. Again, I'm sorry for messing up. I know I still have to work on my own technique. I know I'm not I still have some progression to do. Yeah, also my wrist are really messed up. So don't want to use it as an excuse. Of course, I just keep building more strength to compensate and to make it better. But anyways, we keep working, right? It's always a journey. Anyways, before I keep rambling up forever, thank you for joining me in the video, guys. If any feedback or requests, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next party. Ciao.